podcast where two bearded film fans watch the 50 best horror movies ever and then talk about them. My name is Luke Kondo K, and joined by my regular co-host,
Mr. Ben Errington.
How's it going, Ben?
It's all right. How are you going, Luke?
This is the 50th. We've been talking to each other for over 50 hours now. This is episode 50.
Oh God, not in a row.
Can you imagine talking to me for 50 hours straight?
I reckon by hour 3,
Yeah.
I'll move on to small talk.
I struggle to. Some podcasts are like 3 hours long, and I don't know how you talk for that long. Like my mind starts to about the hour mark. When we're done, normally I can't.
Tired. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Frazzled.
Sometimes we like drift into like the sort of 1 hour 15 mark.
That's getting dangerous at that point.
And that's when it starts to get dangerous. Like
Yeah.
a couple of, I'm not sure when it was. Was it the Deep Blue Sea episode? I think we were almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was one we did with Andy.
Yeah.
And that was pretty long.
Did we record 2 episodes in one go once?
I'm not sure if we did 2 episodes in one go. We've done 2 films in one episode, haven't we?
I think that was difficult for my mind.
Yeah, because you kind of finish with one film and then you go right on to the next one, and
Yeah.
it's like, do we have to?
Yeah, I think there's some people like like BBC breakfast show. That's like a 4-hour long. I don't know how to do that. That's a skill. I've got no respect.
Yeah, but,
for those guys.
and they like get up like ridiculously early. Whenever
Yeah.
you see an interview with like a breakfast host,
Yeah.
they always say something along the lines of, "Oh, I get up at 4 p.m. the afternoon before."
Yeah.
It's always like a ridiculous time.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of life is it, Luke? And people go, "We got the rest of the day to do whatever you want." It's like, no, you haven't.
You gotta go to bed at 2.
You'll go to bed at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay, so this is episode 50. We thought we'd do something a little bit different before we jump into the final 10. So we thought we'd do something called Annihilation. But before we talk about this, have you done any guffs? Have you done any horror guffs?
That's a personal question, that is. I mean, I won't tell you, but my diet's all right.
Okay.
I don't think I've watched. I don't think I've watched any horror.
No? What have you watched?
I haven't watched much this week. I watched Point Break.
The remake. the remake.
Not the remake. I refuse to acknowledge the remake.
I've never seen it. I've never seen any of them.
You've never seen Point Break? Oh my God! You gotta watch Point Break.
That's like a Hot Fuzz quote.
It's one of the It's one of the pinnacle.
Yeah,
90s action films. It's so cheesy, but it's so good. It's quotable.
Yeah.
It's the best bro film ever.
Well, the only reason I know about it, and the bits I do know, are from Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
But then it's good. It's shining a light upon it.
Yeah.
I also saw the new Tomb Raider, which is all right, but I went to see it very, very late. Well, I say very late.
Yeah.
It was like a 9 p.m. showing.
Yeah.
And I had a particularly long and taxing day, and I was falling asleep within the first 30 seconds of the film.
First 30 seconds. That's not really
I was
good.
literally like, "Fuck me, I'm so tired."
I think
Oh,
the
God.
headline I saw for that was, "It's not as bad as other game adaptations, but it's not great." That was
That's
like
pretty
the
much
Guardian review or something like that.
Like, it was all right for a while. Like, it's very similar, obviously, in terms of
Yeah.
plot to like the newer games.
Yeah.
But yeah, after a while, it just sort of falls into sort of all these standard tropes, and the villains. You know what I mean? It's just one of them. You're just like, meh.
Yeah. Is it
Meh.
better than the other ones, like the what's the face ones, Angelina Jolie ones?
There's something to be said about the first one of those two. That's like, it's all right. I remember liking it a lot when it came out,
Yeah.
but like when you watch it back now, it's a bit like, oh God, this is horrible.
Oh god.
But still, it's not
Yeah.
terrible. But
Yeah.
Cradle of Life, the second one, was pretty terrible.
I don't remember that one. I remember Daniel Craig's in the first one, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Plays a sort of anti-hero, good guy, bad
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Plays a dude, doesn't he? He plays a guy.
That his like practice role for James Bond.
Yeah. Well, it was either that or Layer Cake, wasn't it? But Layer
Yeah.
Cake was a couple of years later, I think.
Yeah.
The Layer Cake.
So they did like a film festival thing right next door to where I work, and it's free. And it was
Convenient.
It was a genre. It was the Starburst magazine. That's based in Manchester. And they put this thing on. They did loads of crazy films. So I went down to watch some of the stuff there. I watched Tremors.
Oh, Tremors. I might be watching Tremors this week.
Oh, it's good. I forgot how good it was. It's just a great, fun B movie.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon is probably at his best. Yeah,
Kevin Bacon's pretty great in everything.
yeah.
I think
Except
we take Bacon for granted.
except the EE adverts.
Yeah, when he's in his Britney Spears onesie.
Oh yeah. I'll repress that.
Yeah. Tremors is great. I mean, did you ever see the sequels where the graboid started walking? I think the second one started walking, and then the third one started flying.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound familiar, so maybe not.
They're not as good as the first one. I also watched Altered States. Have you ever seen that?
Don't think so.
It's like a guy. It's a Ken Russell film. It's a guy who goes into isolation tanks, and he has his visions of like prehistoric man and all this crazy stuff. But he uses all of the special effects of the late 70s to the max. So now they look so dated, but like it's still kind of fun. It's quite fun to watch. And then I watched A Boy and His Dog, which I'd never seen before, which is like so Mad Max is about like an angry guy in a post-apocalyptic world. A Boy and His Dog is about a really horny guy in a post-apocalyptic world and his telepathic dog.
Why is he so horny? Why is his dog telepathic?
I don't think there's any women. I think there's like one or two women around, and he asks his telepathic dog. He's got like this connection with his dog to find him women, and they sort of go around hunting for women. It's pretty funny. But where did this idea come from of like a boy and his dog in a post-apocalyptic world? That seems to be such a staple now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've gone back to playing Fallout. You know, that's pretty much the concept.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the concept: is a boy
Finding women.
or girl, or anyone with a dog.
Yeah.
I got rid of the dog now. That dog's boring.
Is he? I've never played it.
Oh, it's good. It's a good game. It's got a lot of life. It's got a lot to give.
Yeah.
Many hours have been spunked.
Ugh. Okay. So So Annihilation. This is the film you watched with your mum.
Yep. I did watch it with my mum. Maybe we should get my mum on an episode one day.
Yeah.
It would be she'd have to stand like 25 feet away from the microphone because she's very loud.
Yeah. So why did she want to put this on? Did you say, Mum, I'm going to put this film on, you're going to love it?
I just think every now and again we decide to watch a sort of new horror or horror-ish film.
Okay, well there are sex scenes. We did talk about this. There are sex scenes in the film. Was it awkward?
As awkward as it can be, you know, when you're watching a film with your mum. You just either change the subject. She gets up and goes, "Do you want a cup of tea?" or you just. I usually just stare into the corner of the room and just imagine. I just imagine like a little spider out there, and just imagine what it's doing. Imagine it's like trying to tell myself a story about it.
Yeah.
But it did keep kind of returning to the same sex scene, didn't it? Which was kind of annoying.
Yeah, it was like a motif, just the sexy motif. So, do you want to tell us a bit about the film?
Sure. So, Annihilation is a 2018 science fiction horror film written and directed by Alex Garland, based on the novel of the same name by Jeff VanderMeer. The film stars Natalie Portman, Jason Leigh, Gina Rodriguez, Tessa Thompson, Tuva Novotny, and Oscar Isaac, and follows a group of military scientists who enter the Shimmer, a mysterious quarantine zone full of mutating landscapes and creatures.
Lovely. This is what the Rotten Tomatoes consensus is. Annihilation.
What did you call it?
Beg your pardon?
Consensus.
The Annihilation backs up its sci-fi visual wonders and visceral genre films with an impressively ambitious and surprisingly strange exploration of challenging themes that should leave audiences pondering long after the end credits roll. Got 87% Rotten Tomatoes score, 7.2 on IMDb. The people on Horror Hangout group seem to really like it. I think Tommy Draper said, "I watched it last night, thought it beautiful and bonkers, a bit of a Donnie Darko for me, a film that I loved but didn't really understand it." Michael Meander said, "Reminded me of Arrival, but had a under the skin vibe at the end. I actually want to watch this again pretty soon." So he seems to like it. John Connolly says, "The fact that it's been mentioned alongside a film like Solaris and others is telling. We're going to be watching and enjoying Annihilation for decades." Gary Hackett says, "Yes, excellent." You weren't as sold, right? You were like, "So good."
I'll probably need to watch it again to really get a purchase on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I was as sold. Like, I mean, I can completely understand why people are liking it, loving it. I mean, it is visually good. It is visually great. The soundtrack's pretty awesome as well. I mean, performances are good. It's very unique. It's very strange. It's got like a bit of a feel to Under the Skin vibe. Yeah, that sort of otherworldly, bizarre feel. It reminded me a bit like of The Abyss, maybe 2001: Space Odyssey. But yeah, it kind of just, for me, at times it like felt like it never really got going. Then it felt like it lagged in places, and then I just felt like the plot was like a bit wishy-washy, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of wanted it to go a certain way. I thought it would go a certain way, and people that like I really appreciate, like I wasn't really that impressed by, like Jennifer Jason Leigh, who's like great in pretty much everything she's in. Obviously like Hateful Eight. I thought she was very one-dimensional.
You know what? Her voice and Benedict Wong's voices, they perfected that like frying egg sound.
Yeah.
Their voices properly sound like someone like frying scrambled eggs in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean the whole Benedict Wong bit as well. I felt like that. There were a lot of what I felt like were poor plot devices throughout this that kind of like pushed the plot in a certain way, but I was a bit like, do you know what I mean? It felt like it ruined the experience for me a little bit. Like the Shimmer is so like strange, and obviously mysterious. It's almost like you're finding out about it yourself, and it felt like all these plot devices were kind of just like going, right, here's what the Shimmer's about, here's what's happening in the Shimmer. Do you know what I mean? There was quite a lot of exposition as well, which I didn't always appreciate.
But
I kind of felt
with how strange the film is and the idea of the Shimmer. I mean, I don't know how they could get by that if they didn't have any. That film without exposition is a David Lynch film.
yeah, but they could have made a bit more of Tessa Thompson's character and how she was kind of like unraveling her understanding of the Shimmer, rather than just like when they needed to, they would go to her and she'd say a couple of things.
Yeah,
and everyone would go, "Oh, what's going on here then?" I mean, I as I said, another viewing would probably work well for me. But I think everything I think the third act is pretty good.
So you, that's the like I like most of it. I kind of liked all the weirdness of it. And then the only thing that's kind of threw me, there's one bit towards the end which we'll talk about more in depth, where it goes full on tone poem. It's like the alien thing is sort of like moving around, like ever shifting, and the music at that point is like, so the music starts off really kind of natural instrumentation, so like beautiful guitars and stuff, and it gets more and more. The music kind of refracts as their DNA refracts and becomes more fundamental and digital.
Yeah, that worked definitely. Yeah, because the music is a bit like classical guitar, sound a bit like the Last of Us soundtrack. Then as it progresses, it gets more sort of like digital and sort of electronic and kind of like odd.
Yeah. By the end, when it got to the climax of that, and this weird alien thing was like moving around, her blood went into it. It started like a weird little dance routine, and it's like, wow, it's quite cool. I don't know how I feel about that.
That reminded me of in the first Tomb Raider game, where you encounter like a doppelganger of yourself, like a fleshy doppelganger. Yeah. And you've kind of got to like move it. You've got to move in a certain way because it mirrors your movements, and then you get the doppelganger to like stand on a pressure pad or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that was very good.
So I mean, I didn't really understand. I mean, in a way, I understand why they didn't do, but I would have had the alien thing go crazy and chase her through the woods, and like have it end sort of. I
think that's how I felt about this film, is that I kind of kept expecting something different to happen, and then it had a lot of really interesting elements and really like unnerving elements as well. Yeah. But like, I wanted to find out more about the Shimmer and the things within it, and I felt like it never. I mean, maybe that was the point. But I felt like it never really got going to enough that I was a bit like, oh, I'm kind of like finding out more. It was just like questions upon questions upon questions that felt like they were never answered. Again, don't need everything answered, but just...
Yeah, but there's some things which are like... So I understand the fundamental idea of the Shimmer is that it refracts everything. So like DNA, radio waves, whatever. But then there's like ideas on top of that, like the start of the film has Oscar Isaac's character suddenly appearing miles away from this Shimmer, and I'm like, that. What the hell does that mean? Like, how does he? How did he? It doesn't really explain that at all. Maybe it refracts location. No idea.
Yeah, I mean, like the possibilities are pretty much endless, but at the same time, it didn't Yes, the possibilities are endless, but it didn't. I don't feel like we were shown even a tiny percentage of what happened. Because
do you think would this make you want to read the book? Because I've heard people who have read the book have said most people I've seen who love the book and have watched this and like the film's not very good. It's never compared to the book. So maybe the book is. Because I imagine all this body horror stuff. You know, with like the idea of the stuff moving inside them, and I bet that reads really scary. Yeah.
I've read a little bit about the book, and I definitely want to check it out, especially like the other books in the series. But yeah, I mean, it was a good film. I of Alex Garland's like writing and directing work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this compared much to some of his previous stuff. Like, I really liked Ex Machina.
You know what I've noticed about his? I think he's really good at creating visual loveliness, like psychedelics. Because in like Dread, he wrote that and produced it, and apparently he was pushing in his boundaries and directing bits he shouldn't have been doing. But like the visual of the slow-mo effect, you know, when they take the drug, that reminded me of the Shimmer. Like it had the same sort of color palette. Like you're looking at stuff through cling film or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, sort of like oily, weird.
Yeah.
Weird sort of like rainbow, greasy sperm.
Greasy rainbow spunk, yeah.
Greasy rainbow sperm, yeah. I mean, there we go.
Okay, so the film itself, the key players, there's quite a few. We've got Natalie Portman playing Lena. Benedict Wong, he's sort of a government agent. Don't worry about it too much. Oscar Isaac plays Natalie Portman's husband. He's like a soldier. He's been away for a long time, and he sort of returns. Jason Leigh plays Dr. Ventress. She's one of the leading person of the team who's going to take them into the Shimmer. And then we've got Gina Rodriguez, Tuva Novotny, and Tessa Thompson, who are all part of this team that's going to go into the Shimmer with Natalie Portman, and they've all got. I think the idea is they've all got some emotional issue or like problem. They've all kind of got some sort of problem as they're going into the Shimmer.
and they're not like soldiers first out, are they? I think are they?
No. The only one who's got like military experience is Lena. Natalie Portman's character. Yeah. So and it's sort of, we also get made out that they're sort of running out of soldiers as well because they've been sending in team after team into this Shimmer. Why don't they just send the drone in?
They said that. They said they sent some drones in.
Oh. Right.
But the drones got
refracted.
What did
they? Do you think it would do the same with technology? Oh well, I guess like they were saying like signals and stuff get lost, so I guess it kind of mess it up.
It would have been good to see some sort of like weird if they've been sending stuff in like that, weird technological animal hybrid. I don't know.
Yeah, be interesting. So it starts with Natalie Portman's character is confused. She's sat in a room, and Benedict Wong is asking her questions. Where have you been? What have you been up to? How's your ma'am? That kind of thing.
And he's wearing like a suit,
hazmat sort of suit.
Hazmat suit.
Yeah.
And she's kind of she looks all right. She looks like she's been through the mill. But obviously he's questioning her about like who survived this expedition. I don't know how I feel about this sometimes in films. How do you feel about it?
I mean, this kind of thing,
starting at the end, finding out who's dead and who's alive already.
I think it works as a plot. Well, she says they ask like what happens to the other people, and she says I don't know. So it does kind of make you think, ooh, what the hell happened? But I know what you mean. It does feel a bit overused, and it feels a little bit cheap.
Yeah, because you know you're going to return to it eventually, and you know that obviously your central character here is pretty much not going to be under threat throughout the whole film.
But then there's stuff like, is that we find out later on that is that although I think that's the thing that didn't appreciate so much in this film is that I could kind of see that ending coming a mile away. That it wasn't going to be.
Yeah, and I don't think it necessarily even made that much sense.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense. And it didn't seem necessary.
No. It wasn't like a oh my god. It was a bit like a
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
really.
Tick that one off. So she starts telling the story, and it flashes back to before all this happened. She's a teacher in a college. She's very smart. She's a scientist, biologist, something or other. You know, smart. Yeah. She's a regular.
She's a bloody smarty pants, isn't she? She loves all the biology stuff.
Yeah. Her husband, Oscar Isaac, he's off doing something else. He's been missing for a year or something. MIA, missing in action, doing other films.
Oh, you could have bloody rang me. You could have sent a postcard. You could have sent a Snapchat. Jesus, Kane.
Kane. So then, Natalie Portman's like, he's left me. I'm going to stick some music that makes me sad on, and I'm going to paint the walls. And then he suddenly appears. He suddenly arrives home.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm thirsty. I need a glass of water. And then
I need some beans on toast.
Need some beans on toast. He's like, he's not answering any of the questions. And I think at first you get the feeling that like it's classified. I can't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Been away for a year, but super secret. Pinky promise. And but then like suddenly realizes like there's something very wrong. He doesn't know anything.
No. Like he's had a bump on the head, or possibly worse.
Like he's had a stroke or something. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Then he starts bleeding everywhere. Mm-hmm. The government agents or something.
Well, we see there's a nice little shot here, obviously, where he's drinking the water and then suddenly puts the glass down, and there's a bit of
that was really good. Yeah.
Bit of blood in the old glass.
Also, it refracts their hands through the. We see their hands holding through the glass of water, and they're refracted as they're holding hands. Nice.
Oh, didn't notice that, but
didn't notice that bit of foreshadowing until I thought about it just now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So he starts bleeding. They go to the hospital, but the government arrive and go, "No, this guy, he's
messed up.
He's messed up, man.
This guy, we got to get him out of here." And obviously, Lena's a bit like, "No," and Kane's a bit like, "Ah." Yeah. That's it.
They take her to they drug her, and then she wakes up in the Area X.
Yeah.
And we get like little. It keeps cutting to black. We keep getting little chapter headings, like locations. I would have preferred it if instead of doing that, they cut straight to the scene and have the text appear, and it goes. You know how it does on Terminator and stuff. Yeah,
that's always good.
That's what I expect in a sci-fi film. So she wakes up. What happens now? We meet Ventress, I think.
Yeah, we meet Ventress, the psychologist, who kind of like starts questioning her. And obviously Lena's being a bit sort of standoffish. She's not answering her questions directly. And then she kind of explains the shimmer to her. So it's like a shimmering electromagnetic field blob thing that's like spreading.
Yeah.
And they're like right on the coast of somewhere. Did they say exactly where they are?
It's in Florida, I think, isn't it?
Right, okay.
I think so. There's alligators.
Well, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. I think it looks like that sort of area.
Disneyland, I believe.
It's Disneyland. In there, there's like a Mickey.
Film. I want to see that film.
There's like a Mickey Mouse that's been refracted with like.
Yeah.
What?
Tourist.
A fence.
Japanese tourist.
Japanese tourists. Oh god, 8 of them.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I want to see that film. Yeah. So yeah, Ventress. Like, I do think there's very weird about the tone. It's like the pace of this film. It never feels like it goes. It feels like it is very one note, and it's very sort of eerie and calm and sort of. It feels like if anyone raised their voice or got too like energetic in the performances, Alex was like, "Whoa."
Whoa.
And it is a bit like that. The frying egg sound. This is what we're going for, guys.
Ventress just sounds like exhausted.
Yeah.
Which I think is good, but like at the same time, like I didn't really. I don't know. In terms of her character, I found her a bit grating. The way she was just a bit like, oh god.
Literally one note. I think her voice doesn't change like tone. throughout
No.
the entire film.
You know, even when batshit crazy things start happening.
Yeah. Although the one point it is, doesn't at the end, that's when she explodes. But
Yeah.
we'll get
Spoiler!
to that. Oh yeah, there's spoilers in this podcast. I better
We've,
put that.
we've already spoiled like at least 95% of the film, so there are spoilers in this podcast. Like, well, there we go. At least we warn people. They can't complain.
We warned them halfway through, yeah. So she starts to explain the Shimmer, and then Natalie Portman is now living on the base.
Yeah.
She meets the other people, the other girls, and they're like, "Well, we're going in there now." No one else has come out apart from Kane, but she doesn't say, I know him. He's my husband."
Yeah,
right?
she doesn't. She kind of like keeps him a little secret. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Kane! Oh, I prefer the Undertaker." She says something like that.
Yeah. Throw him off. You right?
Just choked on nothing.
It's the Shimmer. That means you're refracting. And all the girls are like, "Yeah, we're going in. It's probably a suicide mission, but let's go out on a big one." And then
they're like, "We've got nothing else on.
nothing else on. It's the end
There's
of the
no
world.
there's no pubs around here.
No.
Let's get ourselves into the Shimmer. There might be a pub in there."
Disneyland is shut. Mickey Mouse is refracted.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how would this even happen. Like Natalie Portman says, "I want to be in on the mission." Like,
I want to get involved in the mission. Can someone give me a gun? I want to come on a mission. And they just go, get involved.
yeah. Well, to be fair, she's got like the perfect CV for it. Served in the military.
Did she bring a copy of her CV with her, though?
Yeah, she takes it everywhere. Digital. She emailed it to herself before.
Ah, I've got you. She's got her phone on there. I mean, that's strict.
Logged into Hotmail. Yeah, look, here's my CV.
Let me just log into Hotmail. Oh, God, that's my old account. Gmail.
I need my recovery email. I forgot the password.
Oh, God. This is awkward.
Nightmare.
Sorry, guys. God.
Normally so much more prepared than this, but I wasn't expecting to have a job interview. Imagine passing out and then waking up and you're at a job interview.
Oh, it's
That's
horrible.
fucking
Absolutely.
horrible.
Maybe that's good, actually, because there's no time to prepare and like worry yourself too much, because you get worried.
You need sometimes prepare.
Just get thrown straight into it.
What am I applying for?
And then they ask you the big question. So, tell me about your weaknesses. And you go,
What a
your
horrible
answer to that?
question.
That's a horrible question. What are your weaknesses? The one of the cliche things to say is, my weaknesses are that I am a perfectionist. And,
Yeah. It's weird,
horrible.
isn't it? I haven't done a job interview like that in so long.
You can't say what your actual weaknesses are. And my actual weaknesses are every hour and a half, I just zone out for about 20 minutes.
About 2 o'clock, I need a nap.
About 2 o'clock, I need a nap.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm always looking at my phone.
Yeah.
What
I'll
else?
be doing my job, but I'll be on Facebook a fair bit.
Yeah,
as
I'll be doing my job. I'll be doing eight things at once. I mean, the job
Yeah.
will get done, but I'm definitely watching the trailer for Infinity War when it comes out.
I watched that so many times already. My imperfections, I have about 20 tabs open on Chrome all the time. Never read them.
Never read them.
Yeah,
Absolutely never.
yeah.
I want to ask you what they are.
Yeah, Infinity War, man, it looks great. It's I haven't been that excited about a film since I was like 10 years old or something.
Oh, you're talking about Infinity War.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I lost it. Yeah. I mean, both the trailers have been ace, but I mean, it's like 10 plus. Is it 10 plus years?
Yeah,
Of build up. Well, not build up, but just like building a great universe. And I mean, it's good.
yeah.
It's good to. It's a rare. I mean, it is a rare thing to experience something like this coming together and all of it being good
Yeah.
and not going off the rails at any point, because do you know what I mean? That does
What would
happen.
you do if it's really shit? Like it's the worst. It's Batman versus Superman.
I don't know what I would do, but it won't be, will it?
Such faith in it. Yeah.
It won't be. That's the thing. I mean, that I saw someone put on Twitter that trailer was better than the Justice League film. And I'd probably
I've not
agree.
seen the Justice League film. Just couldn't be bothered.
There you go. But you could be bothered to watch the trailer, so there we go. It's better.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so back to this. So basically, we've got the 4 or 5 team,
Yeah.
something like that. They're going into the Shimmer now, led by Ventress. Natalie Portman's going on, but no one knows. her link to Kane or anything like that. And they disappear. They walk into the Shimmer, and then it cuts to black, and it goes boop, 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 and then it goes the Shimmer, and then they're inside the Shimmer. I found this bit really scary. The fact that she wakes up in a tent, like we don't see them walking initially around. She wakes up in a tent. It's like it's been 4 days. And no one has any memory of like what's happened the last 4 days.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of weird, but also like I don't know. I felt about that bit.
I feel like a lot of it's like trying to just disorient you.
I felt a bit robbed.
Did you? Where's my 4 days of film?
Oh, there's all 4 days. The most interesting stuff happened in those 4 days.
Probably did. The initial bear attacks and all the crazy alien attacks happened then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they go walking around a bit. Obviously, they're checking their instruments and finding not musical instruments. You know what I mean? They're checking their instruments and going, "Oh bloody hell! 4 days have passed and we got no signal and everything's messed up."
Checking their instruments, the watches and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Natalie Portman finds a weird flower thing, and she's like, "Hang on a sec, this flower is you've got a million types of flowers on one stem."
A million?
That's
a lot.
Took a long time. The majority of the film said counting as flowers.
See, that's the kind of thing. Obviously, Natalie Portman would notice that, but I would not notice that.
Yeah.
You could put me in the Shimmer
She's a woman
for 20 years.
No,
because she's a scientist, but also because she's a woman. They bloody love flowers, don't they? Or I'll get you flowers that solve any problem. Oh, what have you done wrong then? Just give me the flower.
Yeah.
Joking. You could put me in the Shimmer. You could put me in the Shimmer for 50 years, and I wouldn't notice that. I'd just go, nice flowers there, nice flowers there, nice flowers. Idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
that's what flowers are, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I thought, mate.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but obviously not. But that's why we ain't florists, isn't it?
Yeah. She's like, this is weird because they're all on the same thing, and then I think they get attacked by there's the first attack here, which is kind of scary.
Kind of scary, but also like a bit muted. Like it wasn't like it just. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a big rah, oh my god! It kind of just.
That never happened in this film, though. There was
no.
It was very I think we could have done it with a few more tense.
I like this bit though. I think this was tense enough. Like, and it was a bit more like they were confused about what was going on. So obviously something grabs Tessa Thompson's character, pulls her into the water.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman goes after her and like awkwardly pulls her back out, and then we sort of see a big albino alligator type thing sort of appear out of like is it like a houseboat or is it just like a sunken building?
I think it's sunken. I think like half the thing is sunken down.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
It sort of appears, jumps in the water, and then comes at them.
Yeah.
Comes at them. And it does that lovely thing where it just opens its mouth and allows Natalie Portman to just fire her automatic weapon into
she's like, "Eat my bullets, bitch!" And she
does that a few times. She loves shooting things.
To be honest, when she was shooting the gun, I was like, "Wow, that's pretty badass, actually." She's like got proper John Connor face. Gun face.
She's got a proper gun face, yeah, which I like. I feel fuck. I wonder what my face would be like when I shoot a gun. I reckon it'd be like a little bit camp, like.
I think there'd be the same face you pull when you're deeply concentrating on a game. Do you know what that face is? This one,
like TV face.
Yeah, I think I've got. I think I'm either a lip biter or the tongue.
Lip biter, you kinky bitch. Yeah, I've definitely got that just completely expressionless face. And then it goes black on the game, and you see yourself reflected back, and you're like, fuck.
Oh god. Oh yeah. What I've noticed is when I'm watching films, I'm really engrossed in something, I bite my nails to shit. Like I've got no nails because I just
doing that. Maybe I'm so engrossed in this podcast that I was biting my nails to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she kills the thing with many bullets, the alligator.
Yep.
They open its mouth, and they're like, "Hang on a sec, this is like a shark's mouth."
Why did they open its mouth?
To see where the bullets went. I don't know.
Well, I was shooting it in the mouth, but I just want to check to make sure the bullet. I'm not sure whether they were just examining it because it was like albino, and they were just examining what the hell was going on with it. But yeah, they just went. It's got like couple of rows of teeth like a shark, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're like it's weird. It's like the flowers. It's too many different species things in one thing.
Yeah,
and like that gets more and more like that idea gets more and more exacerbated the further we go into these woods into the film.
Yeah.
I think it's the next. They walk on a bit longer, and I think it's here they find the military base where Kane had been staying with his own pals before.
With his crew. Yeah, and on the outside of the military base, there's like all these sort of like weird mutated sort of
plant people. Is that?
It looks like plant people. There's like a skull in it. It looked a bit sort of like fungusy. It reminded me of The Last of Us again. I mean, a lot of this film reminded me of The Last of Us, but it reminded me of The Last of Us again with the sort of fungusy, weird looking stuff.
Yeah. They go into the military base, and they see there was a rotor and some men's names across that, and they were like, "Ooh, what happened to those guys?"
Keith, Dave,
Scrabble
Bob,
or something.
Alan.
Yeah. And I think this might be the scariest for me. Like in terms of like body horror, this was like one of the creepiest moments. Is when it's like watching a snuff film where they find a memory. This bit annoyed me actually. I was like that. It annoyed me when I was watching it, and I was like, "That's why you don't need to do that." They pick the SD card and goes up. This is an SD card for a camera.
Yeah,
it fits into my camera. We can watch. Like she said it, and I was like, "You really could just."
Another thing, if you're going, do you know what I mean? If you're going a bit mad, like they haven't been filming anything. If you're going a bit mad in this weird shimmery world, like, would you really film important plot points? Like, I understand how it works. Like, say in a game or something. In a game, when you stumble across something like this, and you know what I mean, the blanks need to be filled in. But I just think they could have done a lot of different stuff in this military base to fill in the blanks for them, rather than go, just watch it on on camera.
Do you think instead of seeing that video, then? So what happened? It's Oscar Isaac cutting his friend's stomach open, and his intestines are alive, and they're like moving around or gross. It's like an intestinal worm or something.
Looks like eels.
Yeah,
eels up gross. Inside you. Find an entrance where they can.
Eels.
Eels coming for your body, for your anus.
Eels. Boop, 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 boop. That was the first episode of Mike Bush I ever watched. And I was like,
was it?
It's fucking amazing.
That's like series 3, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It's good. It was pretty much like that.
So would you find it scary if they missed all that stuff and they went straight to them finding the body on the wall, which I found really amazing, to like scary and kind of creepy and
because it looked weird. It didn't look like super gross. It was like floral and like it's all weird and foamy.
Kind of pretty. It looked like a coral reef sort of you'd find on the sea floor.
Yeah, it did. They should have found that. They should have found a knife in his stomach or on the floor or whatever.
Maybe it should have moved a little bit or something. Ooh.
Yeah. And they could have easily told that story without us needing to see it on a bloody camera.
She should have found the letter, and it would have cut to black, and you'd see this letter that you can move around with your analog stick, and then it says A to read. We found the knife.
That would have been great. Yeah, I just felt like the video camera stuff was a little bit cheap.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But the actual thing of the guy, so there's like his legs look okay, I think, for the most part, like a dead man's legs, and then you have the stomach, and then it just seems to get increasingly weird as it sort of refracts further and further, and his face is like at the top, like really high. It's really quite like an amazing production design, I think. That
part. And it would have been, and the fact that we didn't see it happening or anything like that is cool, because we got
Like, what the fuck happened? Yeah,
what's happened there? Oh god!
What are you?
That would blow your mind, wouldn't it? If you saw that, you just go, nah, see you later. I'm out of here.
Yeah, you get to shoot yourself. Can't.
I'm shimmering out of here. Shimmer away.
So I think they hang around there. Oh, so now we start to split up. Like, half of them are like, let's go home. The other half like, no, I want to go to the Ventress, especially like, I want to go to see this lighthouse. Apparently it's really cool. Because that's where the thing landed. And then why did Natalie Portman tricks them into saying it's quicker if we go to the lighthouse? Why is she even bothered about the others going?
So I don't know if she's too bothered. I think she just thinks that she thinks they should all stick together, and she obviously wants to go to the lighthouse because she wants to find something that's hopefully going to cure Kane. So this is the thing when they all, did you see when they stay in the watchtower thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a moment. You know, when a moment in a film happens, you go, "Why don't they all just stay up there?" And then they did. And like, it was just one of those. Usually that happens in a film, and you're like, "Why didn't they just do this?" And then they don't. They'll stay like. But why did they even need somebody at this point when they all slept in the watchtower?
Yeah.
They had someone. They had someone like on watch.
But
like,
I think they were following the shifts set by the.
Yeah, but why would you do that? Because it obviously didn't work for them, and also you're up a watchtower. So like, instead of one person being on their own at a ground level.
To be fair, the watchtower is designed to be. That's where you watch stuff from.
Exactly. If I was watching, I'd be like, "Can I just you all sleep in the watchtower, and I'll just stand around it. I've got a better view.
I'll be quiet.
I'll be quiet. I've got 360 degree, like I can see all around."
Yeah.
But they don't. So that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. The only one who's kind of Natalie Portman's friend in this, I forgot her name now, Candace or Dessa or something. Yeah. She, you hardly see this happen. It's very kind of sudden and in the dark. Something's got through the fence. Is making noises.
Again, they just see a hole in the fence, right? Yeah. So everywhere is messed up. Everywhere is like falling apart or whatever. But suddenly someone just goes, "Oh my god, there's a hole in the fence down there." Yeah. You just say, the whole fence is... Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be a big deal. And also, how can you see it like so far in the freaking dark?
And not see the actual thing coming.
Not see the thing coming, yeah. So and when this like attacks them... Yeah. Sorry. It's all right. It kind of comes out of nowhere and also happens in almost silence.
Yeah. And it's they say it might have been a bear. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a bear. It looked like a...
Could have been anything. Could have been Paul Gascoigne.
It looked a bit like Paul Gascoigne to me. Crying.
On his way to see Raoul Moat.
Yeah. It's true. So she gets stolen. This is always kind of terrifying. We can still hear them screaming, and they sort of chase after her a little bit, but like she's somewhere in the woods, and all of a sudden the screaming stops. It's like...
Oh, bloody hell.
She's gone. She's dead.
I nearly caught up with her as well. Damn it.
Yeah. The next morning, they carry on. Natalie Portman finds the body. It's definitely dead. It's all mould and stuff. But then they carry on. They find some houses.
So this is when Natalie Portman sees some deer with some nice flowers in their antlers. Yeah. Which was a lovely, beautiful shot. Yeah. But, yeah, that was it.
I feel like I've seen that a few times now, of like the deer in the wild.
Yeah. Oh god, it's in everything, isn't it? Whenever there's any sort of post-apocalyptic thing, there'll be a moment where a deer turns up, and whoever's looking at it goes, "Wait, listen, don't scare them." Yeah. And they watch the deer. They watch the deer for a little while, and then the deer gets scared by something and runs away. Yeah. There's a really terrible, terrible CGI deer moment in The Walking Dead. I think it might be like series 6 or 7. So bad that you're like, why is that even in this? It is like PS1 graphics.
There's a CGI deer in 3 Billboards.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
I don't really understand.
It's a weird sort of moment that like injects some sort of calm.
What is this supposed to represent? God is.
I don't know.
Things are okay. Nature is okay. Or something,
nature's thriving, even though horrible things are around. Yeah. Like death and mutation. Yeah. Nature's thriving. And there's a deer here. Look how calm it is. Yeah. But don't scare it. Remember what happened to Bambi's mum.
Also, they look more like Pokemon than deer. Flowery on.
Yeah. But the thing is, we don't see that many creatures in this film, do we?
No, I think I would like to see more.
Yeah.
Creatures like Avatar level, like that thing.
What the hell was that? Oh my god, a bird just went past, but it's got the legs.
Noise, just like creepy noises and lights and stuff. Yeah, they could have gone to town.
Or like a bird with human legs.
Yeah.
Just running past, sprinting past.
Three-eyed fish from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Could have loads of stuff. Okay, so they carry on walking now. One of them is getting increasingly freaked out. She's looking at her hand and her skin's moving and stuff. I can't remember her name now, but and she's starting to she's looking at Natalie Portman like she wants to kill her for some reason. They find this estate, the housing estate, and there's loads of these flower people.
Yeah.
And they go into one of their houses.
So non-living flower people. So it's like the flowers have grown into these human.
Yeah, they said something about that. They said that in some flowers' DNA it has the human being structure or something. I don't know if I heard that right, or if it made any sense, or if it's real.
Yeah, so obviously in terms of the way the DNA was being refracted, somehow it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like that idea though. I think that was interesting. I think that was cool. The fact they acts like a prism and distorts and refracts the way a prism would refract light.
It's a really cool, interesting idea. Yeah. And then I think everyone's bodies are going a little bit weird at that point. They stay in this house, go to sleep, and then one is going crazy, punches her in the face. Well,
before this happens, we do see Tessa Thompson's character. When she sees the human-shaped plants, she kind of just walks off into the distance and, like, almost immediately plants start growing out of her, and then she kind of, like, is gone. But is that before this or after?
I think it's a little bit after, but it's
right,
not long after, yeah. But yes, we find out she cuts herself, Tessa Thompson's character, she's got a history of it. I think she's maybe tried to commit suicide or something, and the plants started growing out of her cuts, and
yeah, that's right.
It's very symbolic. But yeah, so the one who goes a bit crazy. She knocks Natalie Portman's character out, ties her up to a chair, all of them up to chairs, and then she says, "I'm gonna cut you open." But then they start hearing a scream of the one who got killed by the bear. I think this might be a lot of people's favourite bit. Cass, yeah.
Yeah, this was cool.
The bear kills her, and then it's just
at this point, when she works out that Lena's husband was Kane, so obviously she thinks that she's been planted there, or she's like an insider somehow, and so she sort of wants the truth. But yeah, so we hear Cass's sort of scream outside. She goes to investigate. Anya, that's her name, I think.
Yeah,
the one who's going crazy. And then the old faceless bear comes in.
Yeah, and mauls her pretty bad. It's like the Revenant, that sort of level of mauling.
Yeah, I think I did sort of think the Revenant at this point. Yeah,
and all of them are like tied, and the thing keeps doing this like horrible. The sound effects were really good. This horrible sort of noise, and it sounds just like Cassie screaming.
Yeah, so obviously it's killed Cass, and somehow, like in her final moments, like the sound of her has somehow been absorbed by this creature.
Yeah.
So now it sounds like Cass's final screams, or it can mimic the sound of Cass's final screams.
Yeah.
Can it not see, because it kind of like toys with the women?
It's weird. It hasn't got any face. I don't really understand it. Like it's just a skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it living? Eh?
I don't know. You get septicemia. I don't know if your bones exposed like that. She'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't remember what happens there. They get out and start shooting it.
Yeah, I think they managed to like get themselves free. I'm not sure if they help each other or something, but yeah, Natalie Portman again does the sort of shooting thing, but she gets kind of attacked, and then I can't remember who. I think Josie shoots the creature, kills it.
Yeah.
And then that's again when everyone the next morning everyone's discussing turning back again.
Yeah.
Where would they even go at this point? It's one of those things, you know, when like you're watching a film and they've like been obviously getting through it for days and days and days, and then suddenly go, right, we got to turn back now. I've had enough. It's like, yeah, but turn back for like another.
You're not going to make
week
it.
Or something. You're not going to make it, mate. You're not going to make it.
So like now we come to the final act of the film. Really, they go to the Tessa Thompson turns into a flower, and then Ventress.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was this bit, wasn't it? Yeah.
Ventress and Natalie Portman go off. I think Ventress was ahead of her. They go to the lighthouse. Natalie Portman. There's like
so the lighthouse is like the very center of the Shimmer. So when we see when we see wherever this thing landed and sort of started taking over the landscape, it was at a lighthouse, which was, I thought, good shot wherever you landed. Land at a nice memorable bit.
I thought it was like a meteor or something, but I think we realised it's some sort of alien thing. But it's like outside the lighthouse. This wasn't really explained. There's like bones stacked very neatly in like which I think were Kane's team members or something.
Yeah, and then there's like some weird sort of like icicle or crystallized looking structure that kind
I
of
think
like.
it's the sand, like
Ah,
glass,
yeah, yeah.
glass,
Oh, right.
glass
Oh,
made
right.
from
Yeah, of course.
sand. Yeah, yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
Watchman style glass sculpture
Yeah,
trees
it was
thing.
like that. It was
Yeah.
like that.
So then they climbed into the lighthouse. There's a dead body there. It's like it's been blown up, and there's a camera. Your favorite storytelling device. She watches it, and it's Oscar Isaac saying, "If you see my wife, tell her." I can't remember, but he has a phosphorus grenade. I've never heard of this before, but it's very cool. It's sort of
Yeah. It's very a white phosphorus grenade. So it's very hot and very bright.
He blows himself up with that, and then the other Oscar Isaac, the one who's actually from the start of the film, is recording the thing.
Yeah, he's had the presence of mind to bring JVC video camera with him for the big moment of the phosphorus. Yeah.
Would it be weird if we saw that and then we suddenly saw him disappear? Do you know what I mean? And they'd be like, "That's how he got to the."
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
From that
Or like
start
he
of the
literally
film.
transformed, or he just turned the camera on. Hey! Don't try this at home.
Yeah. Click and like and subscribe, guys. This is
Like
my
and
vlog.
subscribe. I know it was a bit of a dangerous experiment, but you know.
Yeah. And there's a hole where the meteor or whatever it was went into the deep into the lighthouse. She crawls into it, and then she sees Ventress. Maybe is she naked at this?
Ventress is like, I can't remember if she's naked. Maybe you imagined she was naked. Maybe you wanted her to be
I just
naked.
imagine it being that sort of psychedelic.
Yeah, this was very sort of like
Smoking a hookah.
alien. There's a lot of like black shapes and stuff around.
Yeah, it was very Geigery, I thought.
Yeah, it's very Geigery.
Yeah.
And they look pretty cool. And then she kind of like just starts. I think she tells Natalie Portman that everything here is like extraterrestrial and it will spread and encompass the entire world. But then she kind of like disintegrates, turns into like this glowing yellow. What would you say? Like
It was it's like
a
mercury, balls of mercury floating around.
Yeah. It was a very abstract sort of thing, wasn't it?
This is where throughout the film it's always been a little bit weird. This is the point where it goes, "You thought that was weird.
Yeah.
This is going to be full on now."
You thought that was weird. Take a look at this.
Yeah. And then Natalie Portman, I did think it was very cool. Natalie Portman, it all starts to like bunch up together, and it's like looking at Natalie Portman in this weird sort of digital. It looks like when you the Dolby surround sound thing at the cinema.
Yeah.
And it's like all the like it's testing the bassiness of the surround sound.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like ball bearings. It's that pretty much.
Pretty much.
It looks like on iTunes, if you're playing music and there's a visualizer mode, and you sort of get
It looks like visualizer
that.
mode. Oh man, that's old school. That is visualizer mode on Windows Media Player.
Yeah, it's that. But it's like a HD version of that. And for some reason, Natalie Portman's crying blood. The blood goes into it, and then it starts to turn into a human. The music gets super creepy. Sort of. It sounds like a Tom York track. Like there's a couple of solo and like so it starts off very country musicy and ends with Tom York. That's like
almost like notes that are like backwards.
Yeah.
Very bassy as well. It's very much like that, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Natalie Portman starts to get out, and then this thing follows her.
Well, she shoots it first, which she loves firing that gun at any point she can.
I like to have the
screaming
bullets
at
sort of like the bullet trails became.
Yeah, the bullets
part
kind of went.
Yeah.
Ching, ching, ching. Like it reminded me of. You ever played Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yeah.
There's a character in it. Oh god, I've forgotten what her name is already. But there's a character who's like so lucky. Oh, I can't remember what her name is. But like they shoot her and the bullets just fly past.
Yeah. It's been maybe 15 years since I played that.
Yeah, I'll try and find out if I Fortune. There we go. So she's called Fortune just because she's so lucky. So basically, she gets like shot at. I can't remember if it's Snake or maybe Raiden shoots her.
How do you kill her?
Oh god, I can't remember. Honestly, can't remember. But yeah, basically that happens where she stands in the way of somebody, and whoever's shooting her, the bullets are just like bending off in all these different directions. I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
There's some weird villains in Metal Gear Solid 2. There's like a vampire in it.
Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid 1, all the villains are kind of weird, but they're kind of realistic as well. And then number 2 is like, there's a vampire.
There's a vampire in this, and a bulletproof woman who can just bullets. There we go.
Who's your favourite villain, Metal Gear Solid villain?
Oh God, Revolver Ocelot, I think.
Yeah, he's cool.
Or Grey Fox. They're both good.
I think Revolver's a good guy there.
I like the running around, the top down running around villain, the running around boss fights, where you've got to like run around and just avoid stuff.
Sniper Wolf, I always thought that was a good battle.
Oh, Sniper Wolf was great as well.
Pretty epic.
Emotional.
It's sad in the end, yeah. When you get the Nikita thing to sort of go around the back of her. Did you do that one? Did you snipe her?
Oh, I think I sniped her, but yeah, those were good. The remote control missile things.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So she runs away, and then this is the bit I was like, I don't know if maybe I like this. Maybe I don't. Is when it starts to mirror her moves.
Yeah, and it looks like a Daft Punk video.
It looks like a Daft. Yeah, you could put some Daft Punk music on that. I don't know. She later on she says she doesn't even know if the thing knew she was there.
Yeah,
like, it was just so alien.
So it's this. You get the impression that this alien life form, whatever it is, whatever it wants to do, is mimicking people. It's taking out. It's obviously. We don't get the point. It doesn't feel like it's like trying to kill anyone or kill anything. It's
just interacting with the world in such a different way that it's harmful to us. Or
it's like it's learning. It's like it's adapting. It's like it's taking DNA and just like improving on it because it's sort of like a green metallic structure, humanoid, and it never like, and it stays in this weird sort of shape for quite a while.
Yeah,
like a morph.
There's a bit where Natalie Portman goes to the door and it presses against her. And that's kind of creepy. Like, his face.
Imagine it being quite heavy.
Like his little weird tongue, like that Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that's weird. and then obviously
his face turned into Freddy Krueger's face.
Jesus, and his arms are really long.
Yeah.
Again, this was creepy, but I think it could have been creepier. It could have done some much more creepy stuff. It was kind of like this kind of like weird dance and this weird sort of standoff they were having. It seemed to last a while. And
I think that I probably wouldn't have done the dance if it was me, Alex Garland. Like you're very good. You know what you're doing, and stuff. But I probably wouldn't have done a dance. Like it just seems so odd. Like if it should have been, it could have been way more menacing than that. But then again, maybe it's not supposed to be menacing. I think that might be.
Maybe it wasn't supposed to be a dance. Maybe it was supposed to just be a bit more like it was a bit like working out what's going on.
Yeah.
But and eventually it turns into an identical copy of her.
That's creepy when its face is halfway there.
Yeah, that looks a bit odd. Yeah. That looks a bit strange. But yeah, and then somehow Natalie Portman or Lena manages to like trick it into putting a grenade in its hands. Phosphorus grenade.
It's mirroring everything, and then
have a little go on this. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it kills the thing, and then also like everything in the Shimmer starts burning.
Yeah. So the creature goes back down into the underneath the lighthouse, and the fire sort of engulfs all the alien shapes and stuff in there, and it engulfs the lighthouse, and then everything around starts lighting on fire as well. It's like Jesus Christ.
Lena,
Shimmer.
Yeah, ruined it for everyone. And then it cuts to the start of the film, which is actually the end of the film, when Benedict Wong is talking to her, and then he goes, "Oh, your husband is fine now. Since the Shimmer disappeared, he's woke up. He's fresh as a daisy." And she goes to see him, and she goes, "You're not really Kane," and he says, "Are you really Lena?" And then they hug, and the eyes are shimmery. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know about the ending.
It felt like a bit of a nothing ending to me. It would have been better if she was actually Lena, and he was like weird Kane, but somehow she was like, that's all right. We'll just stay together.
I think they should have hugged, and then Kane's face should have turned back into the weird
green thing.
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or they should have started to merge together. Something weird, maybe, I don't know.
Or they were still in the Shimmer.
Yeah.
This was the Shimmer was the base now, and somehow it was, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt like it could have gone in a lot of different ways, other than the way it did, which it felt a little bit. It felt like one of those endings where it's like it thinks it's smarter than it is. Where you're like, oh well.
I
Do you know
think,
what I mean? Rather than interesting.
I think if you look at it like thematically, Annihilation, she goes in there to like destroy herself. Oh, we completely missed all the stuff about her being. The only reason she goes in there is because she cheated on him.
Yeah.
With this guy, and he knew, and that's why he felt okay to go in there in the first place. I think. So
it's like someone she worked with, or like
Yeah.
in the college or something. So yeah, there's a lot of like sort of she's breaking down herself as a person, and sort of almost like
Yeah.
being rebuilt, and a lot of sort of stuff about self.
It's thematically meaty. I think there's stuff to get in there.
It's definitely meaty. I just think sometimes when the plot is a bit, I don't want to say threadbare because I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's threadbare. But when the plot is, as I said earlier, when the plot is a bit wishy-washy, I sometimes find that these thematical, almost said thematical themes then, which would have been
pretty amazing.
pretty amazing.
Before, yeah.
But it felt like they almost got. I didn't take them as seriously, and they got left at the wayside simply because I felt like the plot wasn't exactly. I wasn't getting what I wanted from it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Sunshine?
Give me some of that plot. Whoa.
Give me some of that plot. Come on, mate. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of plot.
For the lads. Okay. Trivia?
Yeah.
Question mark. Number one, bit of an open-ended question. What was the controversy around the casting?
Controversy around the casting?
Specifically, Natalie Portman's character.
Well, let me guess. Controversy usually, in this day and age, is the whitewashing of a character.
True, yeah. So her character and Jason Leigh's characters were in the books described as Asian and half Native American. Although Alex Garland, when he started to make this film, book one was out, and they hadn't said only book one was out. They hadn't mentioned anything about their race until book 2 and 3. So by that point, he'd already cast them. He's like,
he started reading book 2 and 3. He was like, God damn it!
back to that. Number 2.
There's a fair bit of diversity within the rest of the cast.
I think it's in terms of like a forward-thinking, diverse film. It's all women, like all diverse. Yeah, it's cool. It's got Benedict Wong in it, for the Chinese market.
Yeah, love a bit of Benedict.
Number 2, which actor was filming 2 films at the same time?
I know the answer to this is Mr. Oscar Isaac.
Oh.
I read a little snippet somewhere.
Yeah.
That when he was on his lunch break doing Star Wars, he'd quickly run over, do a bit of Annihilation, and come back and then do a.
That's fair, because those 2 characters are so different. Like in terms of because
Poe
Dameron.
Also interesting that Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac share a film when they were both Star Wars.
Yeah.
Padme. Yep.
Okay. Number 3. Controversially, true or false? Alex Garland decided not to read the novel.
Controversially. Oh, that's got to be false, isn't it? Surely.
I probably should have structured these questions in a different way.
You got someone else. You got someone else. You read the book and tell me what's going on. Well, the first thing is the main character's white, and you had one job.
He said that the controversy actually was that he only read the novel once, and he decided not to reread it whilst he made the film because he wanted to capture the experience he had from reading the novel rather than making an adaptation. He said the book was so weird he didn't want to try that. But there's stuff like apparently the Shimmer isn't called the Shimmer in the book. There's a number of differences in the book. It's not really the way though. Number 4, this could blow your mind, or it might not be true. The house they camp at in the Shimmer is the same house that Lena lives in outside the Shimmer. True or false?
That's nuts, but yeah, why not?
It is. It's the same house that she lives in outside the house. So,
I suppose they spent a lot of time upstairs in the first one because she was getting it on.
More thematic meatiness there, I think. The fact that it's the exact same house.
Yeah.
It makes it very interesting. Number 5, the Ouroboros tattoo appears on Lena's arm at the end of the film. It also appears on Anya's arm for the majority of the film. Where else does the Ouroboros tattoo appear?
Oh God! Well, like, is it on another human being?
Yeah.
Does it appear in an eye?
No, I don't think, well, it might do. I haven't seen that.
Well, no, that's me guessing.
Yeah.
Don't know. On the crocodile's asshole.
So it's on the body of the soldier on the wall at the start, and then it goes on to Anya, and then it goes on to Lena at the end. And
so Lena didn't. So she didn't have the tattoo throughout.
No.
Oh.
She has it at the start when she's being questioned, and it's Ouroboros is obviously the snake that eats itself, and it's supposed to be another bit of thematic meatiness.
Ouroboros. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, that whole thing about the house, I read about it and I was like, oh, that is kind of interesting, because does it mean it was the house recreated from someone's mind or something? Like, is that
are we saying that, or are we literally is it as thematically meaty as that, or is it literally they just had that set?
Well, I'm sure it helped. I'm sure like they were like, wow, this is cracking, we don't have to build another house.
We'll just put some bloody leaves there.
Thematic, innit, like.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they'll say, "Whoa, the house is like."
It's one of these thematic themes, mate. We're gonna.
I love a thematic theme more so than a non-thematic theme.
Yeah. We need to grade the film.
Okay. Yeah. So I understand the love. I do understand the love, and I want to watch it again because it's got a lot going for it, and it probably will be one of those films that lasts long in the psyche, and you know what I mean. It's probably. Yeah, it's probably Let's be honest. And it's got enough going on, but as I said, the plot for me, it was lacking in places, and I was never really convinced by it. Where I think a lot of people were convinced by it from the start, but it never grabbed me. You know what I mean? It never grabbed me and said, "Fist." It never fisted me.
You wanted a snake to eat your ass.
Fisting. Yeah. And on that note. I'd probably give it I was thinking lower than this recently, but I think because I've been listening to the soundtrack, right? Because I've been listening to the soundtrack and the vibe of it. I've been getting into the vibe of it a bit. I'll probably go for a B-.
No, that's more. I thought you were going to go for a C or a D.
That's mean, isn't it?
Well,
just
from the energy I was getting from you when you first watched it.
Yeah, that was like the day after, wasn't it? The day after, I was full of disappointment.
D for disappointed.
Yeah.
And then you were C for...
Crapola. C for...
Okay, with a C.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to give it a B as well. I think it's really good. I think it's one of those films that is like automatically and instantly its own thing. Like, I can't think of any films that really sort of capture this kind of fit. And the whole idea of refracted DNA and the body horror involved in that is philosophically like amazing, like such a unique and interesting idea.
Yeah. I mean, it was very unique, definitely.
But like, I don't know, I think some parts I felt like I would have liked a bit more. It's kind of lame, but a bit more like formula. I would have like a bit more formula, like a bit more of a whiz bang on the end. Like, you know, the film Adaptation. He says in that film, as he's writing the screenplay, the guy tells him that you have to end on a big bang. So he ends the film Adaptation on a car crash and a shootout. Like it needs something like that.
This a bit of a fizzle out, isn't it?
Yeah. But there you go. Okay, so pretty good.
Yeah.
Next week, are we doing? Because we were on about doing a thing like before we did the top 10, where we have a bit of a reminisce about the films.
We could do that. We'll see what happens. Okay. It'll be a nice surprise for everybody.
Who knows? By the way, this episode had spoilers in it. I hope you.
Yeah.
Hope it didn't ruin anything for you.
If the film has been spoiled, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else to say?
Nothing else.
Fine.
Good enough for me.
Yeah. The show is brought to you by Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com. Become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Kalman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks to the listeners. If you enjoyed the show, give us a 5-star rating review on iTunes. Remember to hit subscribe. Thanks to Ben for being a real horror dude.
Thank you, Luke.
Have you decided what to watch with your mum tomorrow?
Not yet. I haven't. So I'm going to be perusing Netflix for some horror. I know you've recommended a couple of things to me, so we'll see what's going on.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Talk to you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye.